this is a this we never have issues on this channel. I've never had a tech issue once.
This was all deliberate.
This isn't even happening right now. Do not adjust your television sets. Fit to screen.
And Barnes in that T-Mobile commercial says, "I do it on purpose for the comedy."
Hey, yeah, I want people to feel better about the mistakes they're making in their life, so I am very open with mine. Hello everyone, welcome to Maude's Book Club. It's a new month, it's a new book. We are covering Casey McQuiston's One Last Stop. We're doing book club in Zelda. Can you see Zelda? I put her bed in the corner so that we can see her now. It's not quite a dog cam. The dog cam is my second cam, so that currently the Members Plus can see me over in the Discord on one camera, and then the other one is broadcasting live out to the universe. You see the bed? Yeah, this is my dog bed. That's how comfortable she's been this whole time under the desk. It's the comfiest bed. So shout out to all the members and Members Plus. There's different types of memberships that you can get involved if you want to support Maude's Book Club. Head over to patreon.com/Maude's Book Club. Members have access to locked channels on the Discord, double entries in our giveaways that we managed to do, have access to the polls that we do. They help define what the book selection is going to be for the year, and we've already pretty much locked it all in for the year, which is really cool as well. Members Plus get to jump on the show. We have got now, not including mine, 6 videos up, and I need that in my headset. You'd think I'd be doing this. Do you know what happened? I've got a confession to make, and this is only for those that know. A majority of people know me from something that I did previously. I don't know how it happened. I was on YouTube, and a SourceFed video popped up, and I went down the rabbit hole, and I started watching the first video I did with Bree. No sound alerts on Twitch yet. We have no idea what's going on with that. I think something was supposed to happen and it didn't. Alerts, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. I pressed a button. Let's see if it does anything. And it was the 2 truths, 1 lie. And then I went into the riddles, and it's just interesting for me to like see new people finding that content that I did 7 years ago. I just think that's funny, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what is this all about?" And then I'm like, can this content stop me from getting future work? And I have to have a really, really open conversation with myself where it's like, there was no rules drunk with a rolling camera with videos still available on the internet. So, you know, the one day where I want to have a squeaky clean image and run for politics, no. That cannot be an ambition for me. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to Maude's Book Club. We are celebrating Pride. A big shout out to, I didn't go to PO Box. I didn't go today. I was supposed to. I didn't go. We got 2 alerts. That's why it was that. Got it. That makes more sense. Thank you for 25 months. STS, thank you for 34 months. We love a good resub. Seb, 34. Oh wait, that was from last time because it said welcome Victoria. Victoria being V.E. Schwab, who we had on last weekend for a Q&A the weekend before, 11 days ago, for a wonderful Q&A. A lot of fun. We've got 2 alerts. I know. This is what happens when I only stream once a week. I start forgetting everything, but at least, you know, I'm not on TikTok. I'm just here. Hey, Cryogenics 360, welcome to Maude's Book Club. We meet second Wednesdays of the month to talk about a book that we've all read in the first 2 weeks of said month. Miss Necromancer, I wonder if you sent a PO box as well, Kate. You sent something. This PO box is a vortex, guys. When are you going to start understanding that? You'll put things in it, and then like who knows when it'll be picked up, and who knows if I'll even let you guys know if I've gotten it. Chances are I'll let you know 2 months later. Thanks again for the chocolate sweet. Thanks again for the girl guy cookies, Timbo. They were yum. I ate them all. They were yum. That was like my first time trying some of those. I sent KP Dubs, don't even joke about that. I mean, that's one way to get motivated. Disco Cover, thank you so much for gifting 5 subs. I've got to read out a bunch of others that apparently didn't show up in one feed, but definitely did in the other feed. Fuego, we know that is Latin for fire if we are reading Dresden, right, everyone? Fuego! You just got gifted a sub. Dragon Roses, so did you. Lil Hypotenuse, Growling Mouse Studio, and TJ Whitaker. You all just got gifted a sub. Now, I'm pretty sure I saw this. There it is. KB Dubs gifted 3 subs. Romano Crow, Rena Beazle, and Distorted Leet. There you go. That's a lot of fun. And then, of course, 22. 22 subs. Catch 22. He didn't call himself Catch 4. Had to be Catch 22. And with that, yay, she's laid in the bed. With that comes the greatest achievement of 22 gifted subs for this month. We've got Step ASR, Billy Sunrider, that guy that's here, Gind BD, Automaton, Junior Dax, Oh My Josh, hey, that's my friend, Fire Tim, Afen, Lex4718, Admiral Keck W, Snake Liquid, The Big Sheep, Bones, JR Silver, 74 Light Years, Clearance Captain America, that's a good name, I can picture him. K Frito, yay, Barris for Hin, Pun Cake 7, G Money 73, and Nano Red Skull. You all just got gifted a Twitch sub from Catch 22. Just like Frito, make sure you're thanking the person who gave you a gifted sub. Are you all right, boo? You all right? She's just got, it's a bit hot and now she's getting itchy. She gets a little itchy, so she's feasting on what seems to be her butt. On camera. You good, bub? You good? That just looks real bad from the side. You're on camera now, my love. You're on camera. Everything you do reflects on. Don't wink at me. She winked at me. We got what was that? 1,000 bits. A bit for the amount of smiles this book has brought me. Dogs have no chill. The internet is forever, Zelda. I know, I was just saying that. I was just saying how permanent this internet is and how lengthy my career has been and how many words I have publicly said. Anyway, book good. We got a brand new book here. We've only read the first half of it, unless you're Cherry. Cherry, do you want to tell everyone what you did with this book?
Read it on the first week of June from cover to cover. That thing.
Yeah, you read the whole book. What are you doing, baby? This is a mistake. I've made a mistake. Sorry, now she's like having a tantrum in her bed. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, no. You read the whole book. That's okay. I mean, I'm probably going to start Morningstar tomorrow and read all that because I've got this book and I really want to read it. And it doesn't come out for what, like 5 weeks? So I want to read them. And I've got Iron Gold and Dark Age. We did a vote every other month or read them all in one go. If we'd read them all in one go starting March, April, May, June, July, we could have read them all and then the 6th book would have come out. It would have been harmonious, would have been beautiful, but we would have been stuck in this universe for like half a year. But like, I get it. Dragon Roses, Confession. I also read the whole book. Nerd Boy. Another confession. Same. I couldn't stop. Tass isn't in here, but Tass is in the comments. Tass, did you also finish the book? We'll wait for that answer. Now, Tass is on payroll at Maude's Book Club. She actually made sure that she told everyone where to stop. She told most people stop after chapter 9. Then she started telling people to stop after chapter 10. I think she was just going to add an extra chapter every single day, when she's just going to subtly say, oh, you should just finish the book because I did. Sometimes you need a palate cleanse. I absolutely understand that. You do. What did we try that with? Mistborn? And we were like, afterwards, because it was so heavy. Tass said, I finished it in one night. I've made a reader of her. How good is that? All right, so people are finished. Let's try to remember no spoilers. We are talking chapters 1 to 9, technically stopping at 10. If you need a refresher on where that is, it's when they got down and dirty. It's when they did the fun stuff on the train. So anything after that, we're not talking about it. But that's the really clear. I'm not going to say it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but we stopped around a particular. Oh no, my mum's going to be coming on next week.
Dirty.
My mum's going to be on the show next week. My mum. Like, how am I supposed to have this conversation with her? Oh my god, I'm going bright red, but like. Yeah, the lights conveniently went out. I know that's a theme I actually want to talk about, with this. Oh, you read it when it came out, says Avery. Your mum has had sex. She can handle it, says Kate. Yeah, she loves to remind me. Toasty Poster says, this book's a bit spicy. You know what, Lisa, out of the spicy scale, how many chilies do you think this is?
Compared to what I normally read, maybe like a 2.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
I just saw Tim. You see Tim's face? He was like, wow. Yeah. I mean, I found my limit with a book before where I was just like, this isn't. Thank you, Kate. Behave yourself next week, by the way. Stargirl says, yeah, I'd agree. It's like a 1 for spice. No. Thank you, Kate. Oh, this is going to be weird next week. B-Rock Vandal says, let them smooch and beyond. Come on, camera. Yeah, I like that too. So what are we thinking so far? First 9 chapters. Is book good? Let's go around the Members Plus table. What are we thinking? A for Avery.
Book good. Like I said, this is a reread for me. I did read it when it came out, and I know I was one of the people who kept suggesting this over and over again, so I obviously love it. Yeah.
Good stuff. Book good. Tim, you didn't read it. You're here just for one reason, and that's just to drop subs, and you did that. I can't believe you're not even talking right now. I got a thumbs up from Tim, who just... I'm waiting for him to... He will. He'll unmute. Surely.
I can unmute if you want me to.
Tim, how's your day been?
It's been a week. I don't want to. It's just I'm ready for this week to be over, and it's Wednesday.
Do we have any sound effects in Discord that could be encouraging for Tim?
Looks like you're fucked.
I don't know who
Nailed
did
it.
that.
I'm Peppa Pig.
Oh no, that's a downward spiral. Welcome to Maude's Book Club.
So yeah, I spent probably close to $1,400 on my car this week.
That's annoying. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, could have been worse. Thank God for insurance. Anyways, enough about that. Y'all enjoy the book chat.
No one got hurt.
No, somebody vandalized my car, so I had to get a bunch of stuff replaced. And
Was it
thankfully-
personal?
I don't know. Feels like it was because it was just my car and the whole long line of cars outside my building.
Did it say "screw you, cheater," or did it say like?
No, because I don't have any enemies. I'm really good about not creating enemies.
I
but
don't know. Someone's vandalized your car.
Somebody decided to smash both my drivers or my door mirrors.
Feels
and
pretty personal.
Key up my driver's side window, and that's it. So I had to get all the glass replaced, and I drive an expensive car, so it was like $1,600 to repair it.
Oh, that's so annoying. I'm so sorry. That's not so fun.
No, it's only going to cost me $100 because insurance, but
Good,
still, it's
good.
annoying.
So you are insured against
Absolutely.
enemies.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Just annoying.
Who
So.
did you hurt? Did you cut someone off in traffic? Did you flip a
See, here's the
bird?
thing. I thought about that. If it was somebody that followed me, I'm sure I would have noticed them when I got out of my car.
I don't know. Like, there are some people that don't act well when they've been wronged. So it's probably not their first window smash and key Karen.
Anyways, it's just annoying. So my car's in the shop, and as soon as I get it back, I have to take it to a different shop to get the window tinted. And then when that's done, I have to take it to a different shop because I found out my tires are bald, so I got to replace them.
Oh.
It's been a week, and I'm ready for it to be over with.
Oh, it's been a week. Adam Vision has subbed for 32 months saying, I feel attacked. Why do you feel attacked, Adam? I'm surprised he's not in the chat telling us all about it as well. I don't know why this is, but there are 4 people.
The one who vandalized Tim's car.
Oh. Adam did it?
Isn't Adam Canadian? I refuse to believe a Canadian vandalized my car.
Well, Canadians are also inherently nice.
That's what I'm saying.
They would like leave a flower.
No, that's a lie. We're just passive aggressive.
Oh.
That's what I want you to think.
Actually,
Yeah, passive aggressive.
Kate, what would you do in that situation?
Yeah, what would you do to my car, Kate?
What would I do to your car?
Yeah. What have you done to a car before?
I don't drive, so I don't own a car.
What if someone nearly hit you and then they parked nearby?
Well, I did get hit by a car once, and the guy yelled at me for blocking the Tim Hortons drive-through.
Oh my god! What did you do to his car?
I didn't do anything, but he made me go airborne, and I landed like on my shoulders.
And you were oh my gosh, that's not the first time I've heard a story. My uncle's partner got hit by a car and they yelled for being in the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
My best friend got hit by a car and he chased the car for 4 blocks.
We didn't get hit very hard, did he?
No, he did, because he was in the hospital. He still, just pure adrenaline, he got up and chased the guys down.
That's pretty good though. That's baller. But that sounds like it was going to be hit and run.
It
What's
would have
wrong
been.
with people?
It would have been hit and run, except that he ran after them.
Hit and runner. Hey, if you're
Hit
watching
and he
this,
ran.
don't hit and run. Hey, like accidents happen. Don't flee a scene. Maude's Book Club. Also, if you do help, you might turn into a werewolf. Black Mirror. Watch the new season. Hey, anyway, book good according to Avery. Colleen, book good?
Usually a romance is not my cup of tea. I think I've gotten kind of cynical over the years. But I'm
You're one of
liking
the
this
nicest people in our book club. But okay, I'll drink to that.
Yeah, well, it's fine for other people. It's just not my thing. But I'm liking this book a lot more than I thought I would.
Okay. Is this, don't say it, Maude. Is this reliving any of your adventurous early 20s, Colleen?
I was in Europe for my early 20s, hitchhiking and living on a commune in Israel.
Wow. See, this is what we're going to talk about in the after show, by the way, Members Plus. I want to learn all about your 20s, Colleen. That sounds amazing. Kate says, man, if I had a nickel for every time I met a time-traveling lesbian on the subway. They don't call it New York for nothing, do they? Also, it's so funny reading all the comments about Tim's car. Everyone's funny. I love our community. Colleen was Jane, says KP Dubs. Ooh. So hold on. Which one dyed their hair in it? I feel like someone has pink hair in this book. What is this book? One Last Stop. I'll get to the rest of the Plus members, but let's talk about One Last Stop. It is a 2021 LGBT romance novel written by American author Casey McQuiston. The novel is about a woman named August Landry, a cynical pseudo-detective who finds love in a woman she meets on a subway named Jane Sue, a punk lesbian from the 1970s who's been misplaced in time and is trapped on the subway. A little bit about Casey McQuiston. They are non-binary, so let's try to use they, them pronouns when talking about the author. They're an American author of romance novels in the new adult fiction genre, best known for their New York Times best-selling debut novel, Red, White, and Royal Blue, which I read in 2 days. I absolutely devoured that book. What's the premise of the book? Well, the son of America's first female president falls in love with the Prince of England. Like, ate it up. The sophomore book is One Last Stop. McQuiston made their debut in the adult young fiction genre with their book I Kissed Shara Wheeler, which was released May 3rd, 2022. I will let you all know we're not getting Casey on for a Q&A because they are busy writing their next book. But once they're done with that, I will hit them up because I actually really want to talk about Red, White, and Blue, Royal Blue as well, because that's going to be an Amazon Prime show next month. Next month. Kate said, I Kissed Shara Wheeler is also excellent. So we're talking about One Last Stop, the second novel from Casey. Jay Buntrock, Katie, book good?
Yeah, book's awesome. I love anything with time travel, and then you throw in romance. I just want Doctor Who to show up and figure out what's going on.
Seriously.
Timey-wimey.
Wibbly wobbly. Jay Buntrock, what are you thinking of this one?
Yeah, I had my trepidations because romance isn't my thing either, but the book's funny, so it's keeping me entertained. I'm laughing every other page, so I'm really liking it.
Love to hear that. KP Dubs, how are you finding this one? Book good?
Kind of like everything Colleen said. Romance isn't normally my thing, but I don't mind it. It's fun. It's funny. I love the sort of mystery of it and the science of it. So yeah, I'm having fun.
Oh, I love that. Lisa, book good?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I mean, romance is my thing. So I like that aspect, but I am really liking the mystery and trying to figure out what exactly is going on. So I'm enjoying it a lot.
Okay, book good?
Yes, book good. I read it when it came out, and I didn't reread it.
Oh, okay,
again,
so we're
because I
going
just
on
had other
memory.
stuff to read. Yeah, so I'm just going on memory. So I'm going to try to not spoil anything because I don't remember the stopping points.
If it's not you, it'll be me. So spoil it up, I say. Just not. Oh, yeah, no, I don't care. I don't care personally. Jimmy, you liking this one? You got notes.
Yeah. Oh, I always have notes, Maude. But I don't show them.
Oh, I can. I didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah. It's just I'm a writer. Come on now. But the book is good. Yes, it's very cute. And why wouldn't you like two women from New York City, right? I live in the state. You know,
do, yeah.
I know these things, and like I said, the train is always dirty. It doesn't matter which one you're riding. I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah, it's
So
just,
very
New York, of course, if it's in New York, they've glorified the subway. I have thoughts about that too. Robin, book good?
Book good. I went into it 100% blind, so it was great reading it. And at first thinking, well, this is very convenient that she's always on the same train. And then finding out about that she might be dead. We don't really know what's going on with her, but that was a fun little twist.
There's more than meets the eye. Thierry, I'm guessing book's good? This isn't usually your genre, though.
Well, I like the mystery part because it reminds me of Dresden Files.
Okay. That's the...
And yeah, the romance is just like a little added bonus.
Faden, how you finding it?
Yeah, book is really good. Not like a lot of people, I'm not usually into romance stuff. But the book is very infectious. Like the characters are so colorful. They're so they have such good dialogue. They're just super funny and interesting people. And I just want to get to the bottom of the story. So I'm loving it so far.
Yay! I don't love it.
Why not?
I'm not loving this. I really liked Red, White, and Royal Blue. I consumed it so fast. It was such a far-fetched concept of America's very first female president's son falling in love with England's prince. It was so over the top, but it leaned into how camp and over the top and, gay it was. And I loved how gay it was. I was gay all day for that. There's something about this one with the cliches and everything falling into place without any effort and it being so convenient, and it was just a little cookie cutter, two-dimensional for me. I I don't know what it is. Maybe, you know, I haven't been a 23-year-old bisexual for a while now, but I will say that there's just something about these characters where within the first chapter, I'm looking for a roommate. There's a flyer. I like them. Done. I need a job. Shit, they're hiring. Done. Uni. Done. And it was just so formulaic, I think, for me. It felt incredibly formulaic, and then it started to feel predictable with this, with how they're going about it. Now, I do love some of the conversations. I do love how Mila's personality is just, there was a quote in there where it's like she was an already formed friend. You don't have to sort of like figure it out. She jumps in, you know, friend fully formed. August said it was magic. Yes, and I think that there is an element of magic here that definitely needs to be talked about. It also, I do love that this is a very great learning step for people in the queer community. Casey has gone on record to say that they write these stories because they grew up in a very Catholic household and they never saw themselves represented. And I love how they tackle these particular conversations. Nico being trans, but you've got August being more interested in Nico being sort of like a psychic, you know, what relationships look like, what drag queens do, how you become a drag queen, like, you know, like the law, like the essence and the, you know, stepping stones into it, what trepidation someone who's a virgin has going into a same-sex relationship. I think that there are really important conversations in it. And I think I also, because I've looked at some reviews, and I actually need Maude to appreciate that this is a queer story that's not drowned in negative experience and lessons and, you know, being disowned or being, you know, not appreciated or it being so hard. I actually love the fact that it is a celebration, because so many queer stories or people that aren't queer writing queer stories use it to kind of showcase the punishment that they feel with their gender identity. And I do love that it's all celebrated and it's all a really happy community. It's just a little sweet for me in how everything kind of comes about, how they become instant friends. And Vaden, you made a really interesting comment. There's no sort of like nemesis. There's no villain. There's no, you know, I think the hardest thing is that Billy's got a rental bump. You know, the lease is more expensive and that's the big bad.
Yeah, it's a New York sitcom.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm wondering if like I just need a little bit, because I mean that to me is not realistic. I don't wake up and it's like sun is shining, here's a job. By the way, this is happening now. It's kind of like what I think the Barbie movie is going to show, and then it's like that's actually not how life is. But it is sort of, I guess, lovely. Dragons Rosa says, I agree, I love the queer rep, but I don't love how everything just falls into place for the characters. When you talk about not knowing who you are and like the very real feeling of I keep studying, I keep doing different subjects and stalling because I don't know how to live when I'm not at university. That's a very real thing. What are the implications of that? Debt, you know, what other kind of like consequence is there? I had another one as well. Like, I felt that there were plot holes with Jane on the train where it's like, how has it been 45 years? She's on the same line and she keeps getting recognized. And Jane is such a happy-go-lucky, loving person. People fall in love with her immediately. But this is the first time in 45 years that she's found someone. I don't know. It's just kind of magic. Yeah, it just, for me, it was it's just a little sugar syrupy, and it's not really an accurate slice of how difficult I feel life can be, especially when you're in New York, especially when you're trying to find your people, when you're trying to find family, if that makes any sense. Ro Panda actually just gifted some subs, so I just want to quickly shout out. Thank you, Ro Panda, especially. We've got a mod love emoji if you guys want to drop some mod love for Ro. Pete Swen, Guffery, X Poppin' Smoke, X Tom Jones. Oh wait, Tom Johnson, TJ, Hawaiian Guy 82, Esther Laysom Braddock, Alicia's Alicia Tastrophe? Alicia Tastrophe. It took me a second. Craft Brew Boy and Jilly Bean 322. You just got gifted a sub to Red Panda. If you are there and you want to give her a thank you, just like La Sombra Dark did, that would be lovely. We're a great community over here. Thierry says it's all explained in the second half. Yeah, but I mean, I've got to get to the second half. I don't know if I would have finished this book. I would have just rather eaten 10 cupcakes and felt the same thing. I'm sorry. Anyone want to challenge me on this? I feel like I'm alone here.
I think it's one of those things, and not to like put you down or anything, but you are the target for all these tropes. You've seen yourself in all these tropes hundreds of times because you're a straight white person. So there's a lot of communities, like marginalized communities, like people of color and queer romances, that are doing the tropes that have been done to death with the usual romances. So to someone who has seen those things 100 times with their face on it, it seems rehashed. It seems low stakes. It seems like all the things that you're not, jiving with. But that's like kind of a reclaiming thing.
Yes, and that's what I am appreciating. Except that you're kind of wrong making that assumption about me. So there is some things about this story which I felt were very, very telling and very interesting for me. And it was a lot more difficult. It was a lot more difficult than how August is navigating it, I think, personally. If that makes sense.
If I may chime in, I'm not arguing with you or disagreeing with any of your points. I just wanted to point out some things that I thought were interesting.
Let's go, notes.
Conversation. Yeah, exactly. So, as you know, when August goes to school, every morning it's 8:05 a.m. She always gets on the train 8:05, which is odd because the train is always late in New York City, which is understandable. But because she is a person that has just moved to a new city, right? And she is trying to find her people, as you would say before. When you move to somewhere you've never been before, obviously, Maude, you would know about that because you've moved from another country.
Yes.
But, you get lonely, right? And you want that connection. You want to build a family, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And, I also had to make the reference of Ralph Wiggum with the I choose you.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yes, with the card, because it's hilarious. But because of she's generally a person that doesn't want to associate with other people because she has this trauma from, recovering from Hurricane Katrina. Very little she does. It's very difficult to get into her life, So I feel that when she met Jane basically unlocked her heart.
Yes.
If Jane is just a manifestation of that thing. I'm not. Maybe Jane does not exist. Maybe it's all in her mind. But
they've met friends. They've met friends. She's tangible. She's real.
I'm just saying. I'm just giving my point of view. It's perfectly fine. But I'm just saying, when you have that agreement where you've decided to make a connection, that's what the bottom line is, regardless of the tropes.
Got it.
That's.
Sorry to go on a tangent, but talk again. See your name pop up. This is happening for about 5 different people in the chat. Say something.
Something.
You're just an S with a ...
S with a ...
Ken's not.
Hi.
J Bunt Rock, say something.
Hello, test.
You see it? Vaden, you too?
Yes, test.
Why is this happening?
I think it's because of the name, the length of the... No, it does it for me also. Probably the number of characters for everybody's name.
No.
Long. Like Maude is only 5.
No, Avery's got a space in there. Avery's is fine. Miss Necromancer, Kate brings up a really, really great point that it is often sort of like in terms of storytelling for romance that for the sake of convenience, everything does fall into place quite quickly. I mean, some of the romance tropes, which I think that, what book did I read recently? And I thought it was fantastic and it sat with me afterwards and I really, really, really loved it. And I really saw myself as that character in that book, which was scary. Because it's like, that's just yelling at me. What was the book? It was in Goodreads. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Is that one of hers? Oh, really well done. Loved that one. What I liked about that one is that it started making fun of the tropes. It's very Hallmark where it's like guy works for big corporation is sending him to fire people at the small little country run Airbnb. He goes there to fire everyone, falls in love with the daughter of the people that are running the Airbnb, chooses that life, and just thinks that, goes back to the big city and breaks up with the evil girlfriend who's like, telling him to not move to the small country town and that he's a big wig and deserves a big paycheck. And she, kind of calls herself out going, I'm not the girl who's running the little bed and breakfast. I'm the ex-girlfriend that gets broken up with very dramatically in the first chapter or like halfway through the book. Are you sure you're not describing a Hallmark movie? Yes, that's exactly the trope that I'm talking about. I'm wondering if it's the narrator, because when I listened to Red, White, and Royal Blue, the narrator himself was camp and smarmy. So it just kind of leaned into the fact that it is quite ridiculous. It was like that kind of Gossip Girl, everything just happens to me. I'm so famous. I need, a car detail. I have all this money. Everything's so easy. But I think leans into that so much. And I think this one is leaning into sort of like Brooklyn hipster, quirky outsider, which I like camp, I think. I like camp over Brooklyn hipster, I think. Maybe that's it. And it's not that I'm bothered by it. The Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Yes. Likes. Likes says, hi, I'm new. I love this book. I loved Red, White, and Royal Blue more. It's related to the way Discord changed a bunch of username settings. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's a privacy thing. Oh, there you go. Discord changed a bunch of usernames. Oh. Thank you so much. I love it. I love it when people's first time chatting.
Yeah, there's a notification if you go in your user settings that it asks you to change your name because it wants to get rid of, how everyone's got the Miss Necromancer hashtag numbers. They want to try and get rid of that or something. So if you go in your user settings and you try to edit your profile, so if you're having ... you might not have edited your profile yet.
Got it.
I edited mine, and it's still.
I
still shortened.
Well, then I don't know.
We'll get to the bottom of it. Toaster Post says same. I'm camp. So I think, that's like the difference. B Rock Vandal says my only problem with the narrator is how she does Mila's voice. I found it a little annoying. It's all the way up here when it doesn't need to be up here. Right? Just by looking at your reaction, I think I kind of got the ballpark of that one. And then Nico's like here, right? Like fully like, whoa, bartender meets psychic. And it's just, I don't know. I want camp, not tropey. Campy over tropey. I don't know. I'm just not connected. Do you know what it is? This will be my closing argument. And then I will yield my time. The whole premise and what I've been getting out of this, I just wanted to be reading Addie LaRue again. I wanted stakes to be higher. I liked deal with the devil, or is it the devil, this Faustian bargain. I wanted consequence. I liked telling it from the point of view of the person who's in the thick of it. Addie has to figure out life being forgotten every single time someone turns away from her, trying to navigate that, but also dealing with the benefit of never aging. those relationships, trying to strategically figure out what this is. So I think when you flip it this way, where it's like, we're realizing that something's not quite right with Jane. She's always just happens to be in the same subway cart. It's always this thing. And then she's starting to get the information. Oh my gosh, there's a photograph from 1976. Well, for 75. And it's her. I think from the outside looking in, trying to solve it, I'm not invested.
Yeah, maybe because you read the other book first, read White and Royal Blue, and you like that man more. It kind of set your expectations like high. So when you started this book, it didn't really meet them.
No. I mean, I don't mean to be abrupt. I'm open to kind of trying to figure out what's grinding my gears. I thought it was maybe the point of view thing, but like I've read a lot of fantasy. I've read a lot of romance. I've read a lot of romance, and there's some romance where I think when it leans into it or it takes it to the nth degree, I sometimes feel that, especially with trying to share an important message, telling and showing are very different things. And I feel that even though Casey McQuiston is non-binary, there are some times and in some particular scenarios where it feels like instead of showing, they're telling. And it just becomes like it bops you over the head just a little bit hard instead of it feeling incredibly natural. Cool. Who's Valerie? Jimmy? Reckon.
I thought you were on a first name basis with the author, D.H. Schwab.
Victoria.
Victoria. There you go again, ruining names. That's me.
I am on first name basis with her.
Exactly. So you are admitting that she is your Jane. I got it. Thank you.
Victoria's my Jane?
Yes.
How'd we get there?
I don't know. I just
Mate, you got off at the wrong station on the queue line for that one, my man.
Yeah, I'm taking the D train. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's talk about some of these characters. We meet August. August Landry is 23 years old. She's a college student living in New York City. This is her point of view. This is her story. What is cool about her? She's bigger. Is it really often talked about? Not really. Is it talked about in a way that is, I think, interesting? Yes. Insecurities with sort of like feeling desirable, making friends, sort of wanting to be, it's not, that was a really good, I think, showing, not telling. I thought she did a really good job showing. I thought August is a good example of showing, not telling with that. Really descriptive. I can kind of picture August quite well. I think the relationship with her mother is interesting, and I want to get my claws into that. I wanted to have the majority of that conversation next week with my mother, who is a psychologist, because I think that a mum constantly reinforcing the notion of it's us versus the world is incredibly dangerous. It is a way to isolate someone and to make sure that they don't have friends, and that trust is just not there, where I think trust is fundamental when building connection. I also think, there are times where the mother feels like she takes priority and situations. I need you to look through these files. I'm going to emotionally dump on you because I have an obsession with something that you don't share. It's just a really interesting dynamic for the mother and daughter, especially a single mother. I think that's really interesting, and I wish that's the grit I'm looking for. That's what I want to learn more about. But it was just a little sugary dusting over it, where it's like, no, this is actually really important. This is really cool. We learn that August's mum is a hoarder, which is why she has her entire life in 5 boxes that she can get down to 4. She doesn't want to have anything holding her to one place. She wants to be nomadic. She doesn't have enough of an identity to have belongings. I think that's interesting. It's just glossed over a little bit, because the romance needed to take the forefront. And this is how I feel like these characters can become more 3-dimensional. Instead of dropping this tiny thing and then never really addressing it again. But I'm like, that's That's what's interesting. That's character development. That is character DNA. Toaster Posters, I do have a feeling though that the second half of this book is going to be a lot more emotional. So do I. I just needed a little bit more in the first half. We've got Jane, the punk lesbian displaced in her time of the 1970s, who's stuck in a subway car. I feel like she can be a little bit two-dimensional from time to time as well. Can anyone tell me that I'm wrong, please? What do we love about Jane? What makes her fully fleshed out? Lisa, you got something? No. Baden?
She's not fully fleshed out. She's not. And I think that's what's interesting. We're finding out about her just as she is.
Yes, but in this first half of the book, I know a lot more about Jane than I do about August. I know the types of food Jane likes. I know that she's very promiscuous, that she is able to talk to absolutely anybody, what her style is, what defines her. And then like
the music she likes.
The music she likes. You have a lot more of an understanding of who Jane is. And I feel like sometimes we're just told August likes investigating. And it's like there was one little moment where she's like analyzing people's clothes and coming to this conclusion, but it's not her DNA. It's just that's another kind of like conveniently placed one-time thing that now has to become her identity. Oh, I'm not the right person to talk about this book.
Well, I think with
But
her.
I
Go ahead.
sorry.
I
feel like
yeah, Avery.
okay, sorry.
No, go.
I feel like though that August, like that comes from August's fear of like opening herself up to others. So since she's not talking to anybody about who she is, we're also not seeing it. And as she is slowly becoming more comfortable with being around people, we're starting to learn more about her as the other characters start to learn about her.
But it's from her perspective. So everything that she's not saying, we would be privy to what she's thinking. I mean, would this story have been better as a first person? So we have her internal monologue and dialogue and we know more. Because I think that having someone who's guiding us through the story being a closed file, nicely done, Colleen, is that hurting the story? This is the person we need to get into her shoes. But if she's not letting us, how are we to go along for the ride? Using the train pun. That's a really interesting point though, Avery. Do you think it would be better as a first person?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I guess it could be, because then I guess but I don't know. I feel like then we would. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like, I think we need to know more about August because we need to know what's driving her to learn more about Jane instead of she's really cute and I think I'm in love with her. I think the more we know, she doesn't know herself well enough. As someone who's almost evenly split on the introvert-extrovert scale, shocking, I know, I'd like to know for the real introverts who observe and wait to speak, how much thinking and internalizing and inner monologuing do you have? Would you feel like you think more because you're thinking about the perfect thing or the right thing to say?
Oh, yeah. 90% of what I say is in my head.
I want to be let into August's thoughts more. I think we're only getting an outward idea of who she is instead of what's going on, all this overthinking. And the overthinking felt a little cookie cuttery as well for me. They weren't deep fears. It was, oh my gosh, I asked her out and she didn't say yes.
I agree with you on almost everything you said. The one thing about Jane is when you have a parent that basically tells you what to feel your whole life, you disconnect from yourself and your own feelings.
Thank you, Colin.
I don't think she knows herself. I think she's, even her connection with her mom, I think her mother has just defined that. And this is the first time that she is, well, and especially since, dang, she's going to graduate now. She hadn't planned for that. And so now she's at a point where she's going to be faced with defining herself. And I don't think she knows how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really great point, by the way. That, you know, because I wanted to learn more about the relationship with her mother and what the consequences of that are. And I think you're right. Being told who to be, what to do the entire time makes you sort of question your identity when that mouthpiece yelling in your ear is kind of like gone a little bit more of that. There's some comments here as well. Kate saying, no, I'm very closed off even in my own brain. If someone was looking into my brain as if I were a book character, I'd be like August. I project outwards and think about other things and hardly ever introspect. Is it likes, or can you help me pronounce your name? Because it could be said a few ways, but I want to get it right because I love having you in the community. I think that Casey, in her first book, put a lot of herself into Alex, which is why it felt so close and real and personal. I'll just change that mid-sentence. And they tried very hard not to do exactly the same in this book while still making it relatable. And that's why they have ended up feeling a little empty. Okay, that's a really great point. Alex did feel very real in Red, White, and Royal Blue. And he, as a character, overanalyzed, really brought the reader into that inner monologue. This is what I'm feeling. This is why it's hard. This is why I'm reacting this way. This is what I'm feeling. And I think that that's really important. And August feels just a little superficial, a little shallow, a little surface level for me. We're not really getting to the nitty gritty. And I think when she doesn't care in a very deep way, it stops me from caring in a very deep way. Do I love the support that she's got from her newfound friends? Yes, I think it's great. I think they've got a really great community, and I love how effortless it is. I actually think that this would be a lot better in a series. It would make more sense to kind of like have that first chapter in the first sort of 7 minutes of an episode. Oh, Lika. Thank you, Lika. Yay, Lika. Good. If that's the second time I've had that conversation. Tass has said, I'm realizing now that I didn't see Jane as a real person because she's stuck on the train. I did kind of think of her as a ghost. I was able to feel for August, though, and felt she was enough for her character. Okay, I love that. There you go. And this is why it's so important to have perspectives. I mean, I can't believe it makes sense that I burped while I said it, but Tim earlier mentioned that when everyone's liked a book and he hasn't, I gave him a lot of shit. And so I absolutely open the floor for everyone to challenge me on this because I do want to like it and I do want to know a different perspective. And Kate's right, you know, I only know my perspective and I try to see myself in all of these scenarios. Do I have like a detective brain? Nah. Am I super, super shy? No. Am I comfortable enough to sort of have a conversation instead of stewing it over in my mind over and over again? Yes. I'm not a detective. Not today, anyway. Yeah, Maude's Detective Club. Got you. You're also gullible. Oh, no, 108 burps? Ah! That's nasty, Maude. Lisa said, I have entire conversations sometimes in my head before I speak out loud. I can tell everyone in this chat if they think about what they're going to say before they say it. And I don't, and Jimmy doesn't. Yeah. Everyone else, you know, I mean, you have your notes though. So that's technically you planning things that you're going to say ahead of time as well. And I've got notes. Well, I've got notes.
I have ADHD. I was diagnosed as a kid, so I have to write things down in order to focus. Otherwise, I'm just like blah, 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 you know, so I try and cone it in.
Terry says that I'm more like Mila. No, I'll tell you who I'm like. I'm like Lucy. I'm the chick badass who runs Billy's. How's that not obvious? Myla. That's nice, Cherry. Why do you think I'm nice and bubbly and instant friends? I don't know.
Because you make instant friends with all of us.
Yes, but as soon as anyone steps a foot out of line, like I'm jumping on that. No?
But yeah, you're more like the Czech girl.
Thank you. I'm sorry. You're more like this. That's racist. Maybe I'm an amalgamation. Maybe I'm a little bit of both. Is it scary if you think that I plan ahead the terrible things I say, Maude? No, I know that that's a reflexive thing that you do, Kate. You just come up with that brilliance. It just comes to you. The spawn of the devil shoots out of your mouth sometimes when you say things like that. I've been playing a lot of Diablo. I think of you, Kate. I think of you. You're very Lilith to me. Look her up. It's probably the nicest compliment. You'll look it up and be like, ee! Oh. KP Dubs usually forgets 87% of what they might say. Air Knight's here. Good evening. Clever Girl says, I go into these discussions without any idea what I'm going to say. I just respond to others. You come up with gold-mined little nuggets of perfection, Colleen. I'll take it since right now I'm obsessed with the Halsey's Sugar Lilith song. Please do me a favor and look up Lilith on the Google. Checking over in show chat to all my members. Who we got here? Oh, Lisa's just posted artwork. I love that. That's really cute. That's beautiful. I'm into it. Cool. Okay, so some of the themes. Let's talk about these themes here. My gripe is that I just think it falls into place. It wasn't as deep and meaningful. It didn't have depth to the characters that makes me want to walk in August's shoes with her or alongside her. And that it's just a little tropey. Zelda's snoring so loud behind me. And yeah, that first chapter, everything falls into place. You know, needing a job. You can't hear her. That's a real shame because it's cute. Hold on, I'll emulate what it's like. Ready? Her head is like off the bed and her face is on the ground. I don't think every book needs to be deep and meaningful, though, says Shebake sometimes. You know what? Great point. I love feedback. I love talking about these things. I love that we can disagree. I love that we can learn. You're right. And I think, interestingly enough, when people are leaning into sort of like the camps or the tropes or it's a bit meta, I'm all for it. I think for this one, there needs to be an element of care. I need, as a reader, to care about these characters. I don't care as much as I'd hope to be invested in this story. But Tass, you're in the chat. What made you care? You read this in one sitting. To everyone else who fell in love with this book, what made you care about these characters? What are some of the shining features? What are you loving about it? What's bringing you in and keeping you there? Terry, I'm actually going to turn to you because you read it in one go, pretty much.
Yeah, in 3 days. Well, at first I thought we were supposed to finish at chapter 10.
Yeah.
And there's something that happens in chapter 10 that you just want to know how it's going to end.
Okay.
So that's why I read it in 3 days.
What about the characters, though? Are you relating to anyone in particular? Are you rooting for them? Do you care? What makes you care?
I don't really relate to any of the characters, but like I said, it reads like a sitcom, and I'm a huge fan of sitcoms.
You know what? You can actually hear the times where the canned laughter would appear, huh?
Yeah, it's the ensemble. I like the group of them, like August joining like a bunch of roommates, making friends with the other person living next door. Like what's her name? The drag queen.
Annie Depressant.
Annie Depressant. I love the name.
Yep.
And yeah, she makes friends. Like she's kind of, well, August kind of like me. Like I don't make friends easy, and I don't let people get with me, close to me, but she goes into found an apartment. She needs an apartment, so they're giving it to me. They want me in the apartment, and the 3 people she's lived with are like, let's bring her into our group, and just like that, she moves in, and they bring her to the pancake place and help find her a job, and then helps her with the love she finds in the subway. Like it's more like when you watch TV shows or movie, there are no people like that in New York. They usually like, well, you're on your own, girl. Like,
yeah, that's why I don't love New York.
Just give me the check for the apartment and live your life. But it's a sitcom. Like they're Seinfeld, they're Friends, they're How I Met Your Mother. It's you're new to the group. Let's bring you in, and here's everybody. You're part of the group now, and yeah, it reads like a sitcom. So that's probably why I love the book, because, like, sure, it's a queer book, but if you go past that, it's just like, if you're straight or gay, it's a relationship.
You're talking about community. The fact that Mila instantly has her back. You know, Mila's made sure that she's got a job. Nico touches her hands. You like lilacs, you're in. Yeah, you know, there's this acceptance. There's this, we're going to take all of you. We don't even really know you, but you're worth that risk. We're going to invite you into our lives, and we're going to assimilate. I have no money. We got you. We're family here. And I think that one of the themes in this book is, you know, belonging. Where do you belong? You've got Jane, who's stuck in a place that's not even in her time. She can't move on. She can't actually fully live. She doesn't really belong anywhere except on this particular train line. August doesn't feel like she belongs. As soon as she graduates from college, she's going to freak out because she doesn't know what she's going to do with her life. She's learning and trying to be accepted. When Mila openly accepts her, she questions it. She's like, why? Me? Anytime someone likes her, Jane likes her. Me? Are you sure? They question all of that. Again, that's not something that I particularly relate to.
It might also go with the queer community. Like, you're part of us, so you're gonna come with us. I think it's like the LGBT community mindset that, oh, you're one of us, we're gonna bring you in. I don't think they would be so accepting if they had like a straight person coming in, even though they're an ally to the community, to be so welcoming.
Well, I mean, I think the fact that in the apartment posting, it was
accepting of trans people, like, because Nico is trans.
Gay and trans, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Gay and trans. So I think that straight out the gate is, you're right, it's that community. And
you need to be either part of the community or an ally of the community. But they found August that is part of the community. So, but it's the.
I actually felt that Isaiah, Mila has been good. It's not necessarily been more of like a mentor with Mila. Mila is an instigator, but she's not really she's not looking after August. She's letting her see August's value, but she's not guiding her. She's pushing her. I think it's Isaiah / Annie that is more of a mentor. That's more of a, you know, come in, let me show you the ropes. You know, that's more of the. I'm learning more about everything, especially the drag community, from someone like Isaiah. I feel like his role and her role is playing that, whereas Mila is just borderline chaotic. But and you know, it's never mentioned that she's pansexual, and it's like, I kind of love that as well. But Mila would 100% be pansexual.
Mila's the Phoebe of the group. If we go like into sitcom, like Mila's Phoebe, I would say Isaiah would be kind of Chandler.
Who's that? Who would be?
Chandler being antidepressant. Sarcastic, but still friendly.
So personally, I don't think any of them are funny enough. I think that there are cleverly written dialogues. I don't think it's funny. Whereas in Red, White, and Royal Blue, I was having laugh out loud moments. So it's not that Casey's not funny. It's that the dialogue, I don't think, is authentic in these characters' mouths. Or we haven't built up that character enough for them to deserve that humor. Gosh. Oh, she's hard tonight. Woohoo!
Yeah. No, I get your point.
But there is a balanced dynamic. But it's like someone's identity can't be that they're a psychic. That's not a personality trait, being a psychic. Being trans is not a personality trait.
Yeah, but like
that's also a thing that the author does. Like their gender or sexual preference is not a characteristic of their personality.
But I'm saying I think with Nico it is a little bit. Nico's personality trait is being a psychic.
If I don't mistake, Nico's a trans psychic, right?
Yeah. And there's a great line of dialogue in there, which I really love, where August is kind of drunk enough to be like, Nico, I have to ask. And he's like, yeah, I'm trans. And she's like, that's not what I was going to ask. Like, I kind of love that that's not the most important thing about Nico. But I think that as a reader, like what personality descriptors would we use for Nico? Inquisitive, helpful,
well, I don't know about scripter specifically, but like I think his dialogue with her, a conversation with her after they did the seance was the most illuminating to me. Like, because after they do the seance, they're like, okay, we do all those things. We sit around, we chant, we do all this stuff. We ask for the spirit to come. Doesn't happen. Okay, it didn't work out. And then she's talking to him and trying to figure out like, and get more information out of him. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna see. He's talking about the food he's gonna get because to him it's like another day. Like, and her, it's like the most important thing in her life.
Yeah, but
so,
that
like,
to me just like again reminds me, the reader, that August isn't important enough to, you know, if they did put all this effort into it and then Nico's not going to like guide her through that moment and isn't that important and like help her understand, and that food is more important in that moment. I'm like, oh, cool, food's more important than August.
I don't know importance. I just think it's to him. It's more urgent because he's sort of saying out of his mind now. Like he can't put it out of his mind. It's not like he knows for her it's more important, but it's not. You know, it's supposed to be a joking moment, obviously, but like it's just to show that he has a lot of patience. He's not in a rush to anything. For her, this is an most important thing in her life, and him, it's like, oh, it's another day.
Avery makes a good point. He gives her the nudge that she needs to open up emotionally. Yes, later on in the book, she walks through and he's like, how's our girl? And she's like, Jane's fine. Jane's doing, and he's like, no, not Jane, you. You know, and that was a beautiful moment. I agree, Avery. Nicely done. Yeah. I mean, I'm challenging people. I guess like I wanna get the flip side of where my head's at with some of these things. I actually asked Tass earlier, how did you connect? Why did you connect? Who did you connect with? Why did you love this story? Why did you want to keep on reading? And Tass initially couldn't. She's like, oh, I don't know. And then said, I think that's what Thierry is saying. I felt like I could visualize it all so well, and it played like a show in my head. It also just felt so relatable to me age-wise. I used to take the subway all the time, the crush. It all just felt very relatable to me at my stage in life. Okay, I'm too old for the book. Cool. But Colleen likes it.
I'm 42.
And Thierry likes it. KB Dubs likes it. All right, what is it then? What is it?
Maude, how are you too old for the book if you're 27?
I know, it's ridiculous. It's like, I'm just being like so dramatic. That's just what 20-year-olds do. So 20-somethings.
Do you watch sitcom?
Yeah, but I don't think American sitcom is inherently funny. I think that there you
go.
Yeah, I think that there is a sense.
It reads like an American sitcom.
Yeah, I can like a laugh track to me is like, ha 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 ha. I just don't like it. But like, you know, British humor. Ooh, we love that. Maybe there's because like in Red, White, and Royal Blue there was a Brit. Maybe I'm just biased. No, what is it? Toaster Poster says, because I'm an introvert, I can relate to August. It's less of a journey to meet the book halfway. Halfway. K. Freda says, are you too Aussie for the book? Maybe. The 2 dance parties on the subway were very sick. Oh my God, that was in my notes. Did you see in my notes? What is it? chapter 3. First word, cringe. I thought that the dance thing was so cringy. I was like, and my second listen through, I skipped through it because I was like, ugh.
Well, it's the musical episode.
Skip.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's something I would hate in real life, and like, it's something that's I can only read and be like, okay, that's funny, I guess. But and obviously, it's something you'd never want to actually see when you're just sitting on a subway. If you random people joining in, and
Yes. If you were actually there, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm dying. And you'd want to sink into the seat. Colleen says, I found the people on Friends to be incredibly self-centered. Yes, agree. KP Dub says, okay, so that all feeds into how you grew up. If you were never conditioned to the laugh track, then that will not stick with you. Stargirl says, I'd be so pissed off if I was on the subway and that happened. I'd be reading a book if I was on the subway and I'd be like, what are we doing? Like, just because you want to have that moment doesn't mean everyone else in this car wants to have that moment. Like, come on. It's like people who hike here with like a loudspeaker playing music. Put headphones on. Have your personal moment. Oh. Kate, we just hit the nail on the head. It's just not for you. You don't need to like every book. You don't need to try and dig meters and meters to find a reason why it's just not hitting you. The same way that I like it, it's just because it's taking me on the journey. I don't need to dig deep for the reasons. It's fine that you're not liking it. I loved their other book. I loved it. I loved Red, White, and Royal Blue. I loved it. And the show's coming out in August. Thank you, Lisa. And I'm like so excited about that. And it's interesting. Am I a gay man? No. Do I have things in common with gay men? Yes. But am I the first, America's first son? No. Have I ever smooched a prince? No. So I can't relate to that, but probably. But there was something about that book where I just absolutely loved it. I loved it. And it was a little tropey and it was super, super campy. And I just, thanks, Vaden. But yeah, the sitcom feel of this, I think some people are really digging because they can visualize it in a really crystalline way. Like you can, like a great thing when we did Nerdist Book Club with Hector would read books and see the set of the scene that was taking place as if he was the director. I don't do that. That's not what my brain does. And I actually think I would appreciate and like this book more because the directions are so clear. How to picture it is so clear. You know when the laugh track's going. And for me, it's just my brain doesn't compute that way. Yeah. Okay, cool. Jimmy's confessed to smooching a dog named Prince. It's very brave of you to share in this group. This is a safe space. Yeah.
A side note. I don't know what chapter it's in, but I think it's very early in the book. There was a marshmallow sculpture.
Yes.
That was of Judy Garland, which it
wasn't just marshmallows. It was marshmallows and frog's bones.
I believe the bones were to hold the marshmallow together. Oh, that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, I was just thinking, is that a reference to There's No Place Like Home and her homesickness? Because I think that's before she talks to her mother.
Oh, that's cute. That's a really good piece together.
Again, that was just my way of thinking.
Yeah, that's really clever. Avery has a really great point. There's 3 settings. So if you were to build 3 sets for this one, there'd be 3 sets. It'd be Billy's, the queue, and the apartment. And then 1 or 2 random classroom scenes when she eventually does go to university. Cashman, said, I smooched someone while listening to Prince. Does that count? I'll allow it. I saw Prince in concert, but didn't smooch. Does that count? Okay.
Would you have smooched Prince if you could?
He's very petite.
I'm sure.
Missed that, though. That boat sailed. What a thing to say, though. The school will be another location shoot. Tass says, I really want to read Casey's other 2 books, and you're making me excited for Red, White, and Royal Blue because I've only heard good things. I think my review was, I just had like a stupid grin on my face the entire book. Heads up though, for those reading One Last Stop and wondering if you want to read Red, White, and Royal Blue, the spice meter doth go up. That goes up quite a bit. No pun intended. But the spice meter is a little bit higher for Red, White, and Royal Blue. But I mean, I felt like those characters were so 4-dimensional, you know, like I really understood who both of the parties were. I wanted it to work so bad. In this one, I think the most boring parts are when Jane gets a memory, because I almost think it like deflects and detracts from the romance that's coming up. But you do need the romance trope of questioning if they're even liked, you know. Oh my gosh, but we couldn't possibly because A, B, C, D, and E, and they don't even like me. And it's like, they obviously like you. I've already forgotten how to say your name, and I asked you specifically, so I will scroll up so I will get it. Likeys? Lika! Glad I did that. Lika says, yes, everyone read Red, White, and Royal Blue. It's fantastic. I've read it about 10 times, not even kidding. The audiobook for it's fantastic as well. No shade to this one. I initially was like, do I like it? But that smarminess that he has just is so on point with the characters. Prince was 5'5". I don't think that disqualifies him from being smooched, though. I don't think it's ever stopped him. Like he says, it was just very wonderful that it was a warm queer community that I got to be a part of for a while. The book won me over, and that it didn't need to do anything else for me. It's a comfort book. Yes, okay, cool. I like that. Comfort book. This is a comfort book. But comfort sci-fi. I feel like that's a juxtaposition. Other themes, feeling confident in yourself. It sounds like most people that are really identifying with August, it's that level of confidence. It's wanting to feel safe. It's wanting to feel celebrated, wanting to know that you have value, wanting to know that your input is important and who you are is like cool. Am I right with that? People that related to August? Anyone? Is a fit? Yeah.
I wouldn't really say so. Like, I relate more to her like mental process, anything else, but not really like lack of self-confidence necessarily. I mean, part of that, but also just like I'm not worried about like she doesn't know who she is. She's 23. I'm a lot older than her. I know who I am, but I still have a similar mental process as her in times. Like, there's still kind of like the anxiety. There's still kind of like, it's like guessing. There's still kind of ways to let my brain, I've tricked my brain to doing things. So I understand her like the way she thinks. That's how I relate to her.
Jimmy did ask everyone earlier on, what were you doing at 23? That's how I heard it anyway. What were you doing at 23? Maybe that's why I don't relate to it. I didn't go to uni. At 23, I was hosting an entire network in Australia. I was doing the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards next to Zac Efron. I wasn't freaking out about a girl on the subway.
23, I was working in a sawmill.
What do you do at a sawmill?
Wood for wooden floor.
Oh, okay. All right. Dragons
and
Roses.
Broke my back.
Oh, no. That story took a turn.
That's why I'm in VFX now. That's back problem.
How'd you hurt your back?
Well, we had... it's just the flipping of the boards constantly for 8 hours for 40 hours a week.
Oh, okay, that'll do it.
And standing on concrete with steel-toe boots.
Oh, yeah, that's not good support at all. Now we get the nice ergonomic. Everyone else is talking about what they were doing at 23. Avery says, I relate to August because I too turned 23, graduated from college, had an identity crisis, and moved across the country. Dragon's Roses, I was having an identity crisis. Okay, what was yours about? Vaden says, I was going to college and working as a game tester. Nerd Boy says, nothing fun, it's corporate accounting. Tim says, I was 23, being an idiot 23-year-old guy. Lisa says, I was working 2 jobs and drinking a lot more than I do now. Oh, girl, ain't that the truth. Try growing up in Australia. Ooh. Colleen! Am I allowed to say this out loud? You minx. Colleen is the Jane of the group. Are you kidding me? Colleen was dating guys from 8 different countries. You saucy, saucy minx, you. Now, how many guys in 8 countries? Because there could be more than 8 guys in the same country. You had different hoes and different area codes. What decade was this?
I honestly don't remember how many guys. I remember the countries. It might have been more.
Can you remember any of their names?
No.
Okay. Did you? Was it love for? Was it love with any of them?
It was just fun, and pretty much until I met my husband.
And you're like, you're taking the place of 8 different.
I've told my sons they could have had a father from Thailand or from Nigeria.
Oh, it's the other prince, the Nigerian prince. Hold on. So I've got questions. What decade was this?
It was in the 70s.
70s. Lika says, Colleen, you fascinate me. Nerd Boy says, eat, pray, spice. Kay Frida says, okay, good for you. Piling says she's hilarious. I'm shook, Colleen. Vaden wants to know when your autobiography, aka romance novel's coming out. Yeah, Nerd Boy's like, when are we getting Colleen's book? This is so good.
When there's no longer anyone alive to sue.
Oh, whoa. That's funny. You don't even remember their names, so you know, for the sake of the book, all of the names have been fictionalized. Whew. Anyone from Australia, Colleen?
No, my cousin married a guy from Australia.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're very global, aren't you? How'd you meet everyone?
I somehow ended up a member of the foreign student union at school, just because I knew so many people.
I would read that book.
I became an honorary member, and I met most of them that way. A couple of guys while I was traveling, and I was also very involved with the Native American community in college.
I do remember that. That's how you know a lot about some of the books we've been reading. You've been a trove of information for us, which is so great. I do learn something every single time we do a book club, Colleen. And this time I learned that the 70s were a very good decade. And we missed out, everyone else. We missed out. Lisa says, Colleen's the most interesting person I know. Love your stories. Aw. Great little community. KB Dub says, the 70s were great. I was young, but I was there. Piling says, I want to go. I want to go sign up for that club now. I need spice. 2023 is a little different, Piling, just a heads up. Very different now. The 70s, that was a different time. Let that spice flow. He who holds the spice holds the power. Anyway, okay, the next theme. we'll go through. Having hope and being okay with whatever happens. I mean, that's my slogan. Are we seeing that as a theme? Beginning of the novel, August lacks hope. She's still wrestling memories, being left by her mother to fend for herself because Mum was so obsessed with Uncle Augie's missing person case. She remembers her mother forgot to pick her up from school because she was doing research, and how her mother neglected to save any of August's baby photos when Hurricane Katrina hit. Instead, she'll save the files from Augie's case, making August feel like she doesn't even have a home. Additionally, when August talks to Wes about Isaiah, encouraging him to pursue a relationship, she finds that she isn't the only one with parental problems. They discuss how Wes was disowned when he dropped out of architecture school, and how even Nico, who seems to have everything figured out, fights with his mum. The recognition that others have problems with their parents too is important for August because she idealizes people, not understanding that everyone must grapple with different issues in their lives. However, she learns to be okay and to understand that life has its ups and downs. Even if things aren't perfect, they can still be perfect. Oh, that's a pretty boring theme, but I guess it's a theme. All right, they're the only themes. There are some good quotes, though. Actually, one of the things I did want to talk about, and this will be one of the last things, especially comparing it to Casey's previous book talking about gay relationships, the intimacy and how girls will get crushes and how it definitely differs between same-sex relationships for women and men. And I just thought it was really, really sweet to notice in this book just how cripplingly August falls for Jane upon a first look. And I think it's very sweet how, you know, women, it's a very feminine trait to sort of like see someone and romanticize what your lives will be like. You instantly think of forever. You'll pair your last names together. You know what I mean? You'll think of baby names. Like you go from a glance to the nth degree in seconds. And it's very, very funny to see. I actually wrote down a bunch of the quotes, which I thought were in the first chapter when she's first seen Jane. August wants to die in that dimple. She's the best looking person she's ever seen. August will do whatever this girl says. You know, she will lie down on Fifth Avenue for this girl. She doesn't even know her, what she's willing to do because she's been so smitten. It's really cute, I think, sort of like seeing lust, fantasy, romanticizing through a different lens with that, because, you know, in Red, White, and Royal Blue, it's a very masculine approach, right? It's building up sort of like a bromance and then it just being like very physical. Whereas this one, it's like, I want to get to know them. I want to learn about them. I want, you know, I'm thinking things, but I'm so cautious in sharing how I feel because that I don't want to ruin this. I don't know. It was just really, really nice. But I kind of wanted to get a take from everyone else. What did you, those that know romance or those that have read a lot of hetero relationships in books, how did this one look, feel, sound different to you?
In terms of me, like seeing it, like I remember, like, again, I know that August is 23 in this, and but I recall being like a teenager, and like I didn't really talk much to people because I was a very, very internet person. I would only, you know, talk to like one or two people. But if there was someone that I liked, I would certainly write down like stories that involved them. Like, I know it wasn't anything like ridiculous. It was more like, oh, we would go to the arcade and we would play Mortal Kombat, or oh, we would go to the park and just sit there and watch the ducks. You know, it was kind of like those things that I would write down. So it can get.
So you would build scenarios together.
Exactly. And as I got older, I used to be like, well, why don't I just tell these people these thoughts that I'm having? And then I usually get, oh, you're weird, but the good kind of weird. That's what I would get.
Well, you're sensitive. A lot of the time guys will tease. You know, it's that thing where you're a teenager where it's like, I'm going to make fun of you because that's more comfortable and easy to tell you that I like you than being vulnerable. And I think, you know, your kind of weird, so to speak, is to be sensitive. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Some would say that I'm overly sensitive.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
went the opposite direction, but it's perfectly fine. That's
So
my take on it.
That's interesting, kind of like, you know, showing the difference with how you hold a crush, I guess. I would do the LOVES challenge. You do their first, your full name, LOVES, their full name, and every L, O, V, E, and S in their name. You count up the numbers of it, and it would be a math game, and you would find a percentage at the end of it to see what percentage you were compatible. And my biggest crush and our compatibility was like 9%, and I cried. All right, I'll do it. So for those that, hold on, let me do it. So my name is Maude Garrett. Yeah, we're doing maths. Loves, I'm doing it in the comment here. Loves August, what's her last name? I just said it. Landry. All right. So no one type in the comments for a bit because I'm doing some maths. L, there's one L. O, no O's. V, August, Landry, no. E, I got 2, okay. And then S, 1 S in August. Okay, so now it's 10021. Are we all following along here? Now you have to add the first two numbers, and the first two numbers equal 1. And then you add the next two numbers, just 1 over, 0 and 0 equals 0. And then you add 0 and 2, which is 2. And then you add 2 and 1, which is 3. So then the next number will be, you add them together. Okay. And then you add the, whoa, I'm getting rated. Oh no, I'm doing like cheesy teen shit here. Hi everyone, my name is Maude Garrett. I do a book club. We cover a book every single week. It's a Steffling Stampede. That's so cool. I just want to get this last thing, 37%. Okay. So August Landry, this fictional character, and I, we have a 37% compatibility rating based on our names. Anyway, hi everyone. The book we're doing is called One Last Stop. It's a beautiful LGBT kind of book, which is with a sci-fi spin on it. If you want to learn to read more books, or you want, you've got no idea how this math works. It makes math. It makes sense. I think it was an Aussie thing. I used to do this all the time. I was obsessed with this. The numbers would speak the truth. Oh well. The maths, guys. The maths. The math. Anyway, the whole thing about Maude's book club is that we try to encourage people to read more. Reading is pretty freaking cool. So every single month we nominate a book to read. The first 2 weeks of the month, we read the book. The second 2 weeks of the month, we break it down over 2 parts. We're talking about part 1 of this book, the first 9 chapters. Math took some math. Reading is great, says Steph. Hi, Steph. So lovely to hear from you. What was it? Let's give Steph a shout out. See what she was just playing. Steph, what have you been reading lately? If you have been reading. In fact, everyone in the comments, please let me know what your mathematics. Mathematics, that's good. How have I lived my entire life never having heard mathematics before? That's some good shit, B-Rock Vandal. Anyway, a little bit, if you want to learn more about it, we've got a Discord. If you want to know about next month's book, oh, it's fun. Oh, it's on the table because it's in my bedroom because I started reading it. We've been doing the Red Rising series. It's some epic sci-fi, space opera, fantasy-esque stuff. If you're into it, so cool. Anyway, read more books. We're on Goodreads. We're on Fable as well. But we love talking about the books. Oh, you're playing some Fortnite. Hell yeah. That's a... Katie Dubs. Lowell von Voorhees is the best name for someone to play that game with. But if the numbers are too high, it can still whittle down to very low. It's interesting. It's interesting. I want it. Should I try it? Do we try it? All right. Maude Garrett loves, okay, and maths with me, people. Maths with, this is something that Australians would do as a kid. Check me in the comments. This fictional name, Lowell von Voorhees. Is this a name that you know? You made it up? Okay, well, I love them now. Alrighty, so L3. O, wow, 3. V2. E, he used to do the maths. 1, 2, 3, 4. for 5. Woo! And S is 1. Okay. So is this where I lose you all? Are we looking at the comment here? We see the number. So the first thing we do is add the first 2, 3 and 3, 6. And then we add 3 and 2, the next 2 along. That's 5. Thank you, Tim. Show me the next one. It's 7. Great. And then it's 6. Okay. So that's the next lot, yeah? And now the next one is 11.
Yeah, 11 and then
12.
12.
And then 13.
13.
So then we've got to go through this shit again, right? So 2, 2,
Christ.
3.
KP, why did you do this?
3, 4. And now it's 4, 5. See how fast I'm doing? Because this is my childhood, like coming back.
Oh, coming back to you.
Mm-hmm.
9, 11. 9, 11, 13.
Oh my God, this is going forever.
10,
yeah.
2.
No, 1, 1.
Wait,
2,
how did you?
5.
It should be 10, 2,
no,
4.
because it's back to single numbers. 2, 3, 7. Oh my God.
You lost me.
5, 10. Oh, sorry, that's supposed to be 5, 10. So then it's 61. Oh my God, lol. There's no secret rules. It's like once it goes to a new line, it can't be 10 again because it's single digit numbers. So 10 becomes 1 and 0.
Right, but how is it 10, 11? Shouldn't it be 10 and then you add 1 and 1, so that'd be 2. So it'd be 1, 0, 2.
No, so go back to 10, 11, 4, right? 1, 0, 1.
No, go back
0,
to 9, 1, 1, 1, 3.
Yeah, 10.
So 9 and 1 is 10.
I fucked up.
1 and 1 is 2.
I fucked up. Okay, so what's that number then?
Don't question me on the math.
I know. I've had 1 and I nailed the one time I got you on the science and bust out the blackboard. Listen, this is why someone vandalized your car. Guys, we're coming to the bottom of everything. I don't like the book because I don't have to like everything. Your car got vandalized because you can be a number dick. All right. But 901 is 10, and then that should have been 2, 2, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 4, 6, 3. I can't believe we're still doing this. I can't not though. I'm so sorry. I'm like obsessed. Oh my God. But we figured it out though now, right? 16, 8.
Yeah, you're on the right track now.
7. Yeah, I'm numbering.
It's just gonna keep going.
No,
forever.
we got it. We got
KP,
the answer.
did you really work this out?
85%. Lol and I, can you get KP Dubs? Get Lol, give me my number. We got an 85% chance together with this. That's hot. Go Lol. Anyway, guys, finish the book. If you've got this one, Casey McQuiston, One Last Stop. It's a romance sci-fi book. One Last Stop is a 2021 LGBT romance novel written by American author Casey McQuiston. The novel is about a woman named August Landry, a cynical pseudo-detective who finds love in a woman she meets on a subway named Jane Sue, a punk lesbian from the 1970s who's been misplaced in time and is trapped on the subway. Next week, my mother will be joining us. My mum read this book a month ago in anticipation. And she's like, can we just talk about it? I was like, no, I haven't started it. But I did read it twice, the first half twice since Thursday. But my mum's been trying to talk to me about this book for a bloody month. I think she's got thoughts. Dr. Breen says, have you read the book The Last Free Man by Wallace Breen? No. I haven't. We're a sci-fi fantasy book club. That could be sci-fi and or fantasy. I am not sure. If you want to know every single book we've done previously, head over to maudsbookclub.com and look at the archive, I believe. Is it the archive? There's like all the past picks. And you can see possibly the future picks. Next Wednesday, I would have read One Last Stop fully a month ago since I read it twice. Oh, there you go. Yeah, book archive. You can see all the previous books that we have done. Is she going to share her screen on the fly? Or don't do it. We're going to do it. Window capture. Let's go. Window capture. Which window? There it is. May, we did Golden Sun. Then we did Fevered Star, Red Rising, Spinning Silver. We've done Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. The Martha Wells books, they're a lot of fun. They're all, what are they? We call them novellas. We read them all in December. Black Sun, that's the first book of the Fevered Star, the second book. Dark Places, don't recommend it. Harrow the Ninth and Gideon the Ninth, some people loved it. I was not one of them. Oh, yeah, okay, I knew you would write something. I'm so glad you loved them, KP Dubs. I'm so glad you loved them. House on the Cerulean Sea, which everyone except Tim loved. Priory of the Orange Tree was like 9,000 pages. We did some of the Brandon Sanderson Mistborn books. And if you want to get stuck into any book, please read Andy Weir, Hail Mary. That book is the absolute tits. And we're back. Terry, you didn't get past the 3rd chapter of Cerulean Sea, but you love this book? That makes no sense. Like, that was a queer book as well, and I loved those two.
It was the writing.
You didn't like the writing?
No, I didn't. It didn't get me.
KP Dub says Hail Mary is the book to read, and Toaster Poster says amaze, amaze, amaze. I told you my mum would say, she would write to me and she would write amaze, amaze, amaze 3 times, like after things. So cute. She loved it. I saw One Last Stop and thought Maude was giving a life update, says BB CVET 2009. One Last Stop. What do you mean? What was my last stop? Oh, it was a life update. I met a lesbian on the train, but she's not real. She's stuck in 1975. But don't worry, we went for it when the cabin mysteriously went dark. Oh, yeah, can we talk about the magic? Billy's is magic. The train's magic. August is magic. August is the smooching is unlocking her memories. Any thoughts on the magic? It's plot armor. Cool. Next chat.
I can't say anything.
Ah! Noodles is magic. Thanks, Jimmy. Ah, we got another one. Terrible timing. Cap Hopper. Cap Thopper. Could be either. Yay. Thank you so much for rating. Hi, it's Maude's Book Club here. Let's give a shout out. Let's give a shout out. It is a Wednesday evening. We're just wrapping up One Last Stop. It is the book of the month for Maude's Book Club. It is a fun LGBT queer little love story between these two characters. You can see that's August meets Jane on a train. Jane can't get off the train. Why? We'll find out next week. We'll find out next week. Okay, good feedback, BV. I was supposed to play with Trisha today, but the client didn't want me there. So I didn't get to do it. But Trisha and I are going to play some Diablo, I think. That's the actually, maybe I can try and do that tomorrow. Shit. I'll text Trish, see if she wants to play some Diablo tomorrow. Yeah, I think that. I'm just trying to remember Trisha's schedule. I look at it every Monday and try to commit it to memory so I know when to call her. I think she did Friends today and not tomorrow. I think she's just playing something else tomorrow. Either way, we're going to wrap things up. Finish the book. Maybe this is going to completely change my thought on it. If you do love this, maybe you'll love Red, White, and Royal Blue. That is really hard to say fast, by the way. Red, White, and Royal Blue. Red, White, and Royal Blue. Red, White, and... Okay, never mind. Just proved myself wrong. Predictions. B-Rock Vandal says, Q is a train demon that has trapped Jane. Now, that's cool. That's Doctor Who. That's Doctor Who. That's what I'm waiting for. And then someone comes in with a mysterious coat. I'm ageist? Is that what you're saying? What is that
No,
word?
I typed it wrong. That's all.
What's the word? What's the word?
Yeah, I'll type it soon.
I thought you were giving me shade for being ageist. I was 23 once. 4 years ago, remember? We went over that. It's just the other day. You know, a friend of mine posted a Lady Gaga concert in 2009 when she first played before she was like huge Lady Gaga. And they ripped this video off the internet because it was in Australia and Australia wasn't showing it outside of Australia. And like they had fame in the Gaga community for like a few months because it got millions of views. And I wrote going, I was at that concert in 2009. It was in Australia. I was there. And then I found a photo of it. You guys want to see 23-year-old Maude at a Gaga concert? Look at her. Oh, the future was ahead of her. So this is little 23-year-old. There you go. I've got to show it on two different cameras. Can you see her? Look at her. She's wearing sequins, for fuck's sake. Yeah, so that was just a couple of years ago. Camera, come back. Oh, I will. I'll share it in the show chat. If you are joining us, we do have members in Maude's Book Club. We've got members and members plus. For those members plus are in the chat right now. Give a sound effect of your choice, members plus. Members will have access to show chat, and I'm going to put that.
Emotional damage.
Nice. We love it. Yeah. They earned that. Okay, KB Dubs. Ouch. So if you do want to get involved with Maude's Book Club, head over to patreon.com/Maude's Book Club. There's a few. My uncle named Augie. The main character's named August. What are you getting at with that, Thierry? Don't spoil. Are you spoiling? Anyway, we need to find someone to raid. That's where I'm on here. Jackie's on. No brainer. No brainer. Say hi to Jackie Jing, everyone. Is that her? Yep. Is that working? Bye, Adam. Adam, I'd love to play some Diablo. I was about to suggest that we play some, but I've got to go to a thing tonight. It's a no-brainer that we're going to raid Jackie, not Jackie has no brain. I'll see everyone next week. Finish the book. Oh, and members plus, let's have a chat. Good night, everyone. Bing. Okay.